Hello, my beloveds. This is our Patreon angel group meeting in October of 2025. And I certainly have a lot to share today because I'm also teaching my 33 Days of Angelic Wisdom live class that met right before this one. And that topic was soul agreements and relationships. And the pain that was shared on that topic was profound. And then we went into a guided meditation to see it all as soul agreements. And then when I went to meditate and say, all right, angels, what is our topic for today in this class? They said, you aren't done with relationships. And I said, okay, what do you have to say about it? And I channeled in a writing message from them, and I'm just going to read it. I think I will cover this so you can just reflect on what they're saying. Yes, beloveds, soul agreements govern every relationship on earth, the loving ones and the painful ones. There is only one way to view these relationships that serves you, and it is that every soul is someone who is part of your heavenly soul posse, your group of souls who have incarnated through endless time together and who know and love each other as higher beings in the higher realms. You all made a dance agreement. You said, all right, let's be courageous. Let's jump into that earth realm. They are in trouble. They are conflicted. They are hating and fighting and blaming and judging. We need to go in and teach a different way, a way of finding unconditional love, no matter what is occurring in every relationship. So we want you all to know that as angels, our first job is helping you move through these painful daily, day-to-day relationships that break your heart, wound you, make you feel less than, or put you into a state of judgment. Please trust us when we tell you that there is one thing to know about every soul you interact with on earth. It is part of your soul's plan for your highest good. We promise you that you cannot look at these beings as people you expect to behave a certain way. That is the part that breaks you open for pain and judgment and anger and blame. Instead, beloved humans, we want you to remember that we are lifting you up at every moment to see that each soul is a beautiful, powerful, divine being just like you, someone you have loved throughout time and space unconditionally, and you made this painful agreement to come into earth and push each other to grow so that you could each find your next step, your great work, and turn around and help others from what you have learned. And one of the things we hope that everyone traveling the earth realm learns and remembers is that when you cross, and you are back with us in the heavenly realms, and you do your soul review, you will take that breath of release and you will say, gosh, why was I focused on their painful ego personality self that was perhaps acting from their deeper childhood wounds, and the things that had happened tarnished their soul in their lifetime? Why wasn't I focusing on who I know them to be as perfectly loving souls, part of my higher self soul posse? If I had shifted into that viewpoint, I would never have expected them to behave like an angel on earth, I would have remembered that all humans are damaged and tarnished temporarily in their personality self on earth. It is part of the growth experience, and that the awakening comes when each soul shifts up and says, I remember I am a perfect soul on a journey, and I remember that you are a perfect soul on a journey, and we are doing absolutely the best we can, and I love you anyway, and so it is. And I think it's that part of expectation that gets us in trouble on earth, that we expect the people around us to love us or to accept us or to approve of us. That is a human ego perspective. Instead, our soul is going, how is that beautiful soul doing that you know from heaven? Oh, look, they've had a very painful human journey. Oh, and look how it's weighed down their human ego personality self and made them react from that pain. How can I help them step up to their own higher self on earth and remember who they are by me sending unconditional love, eternal forgiveness to them, even if I have to pull back and protect myself in some ways from the toxicity of the relationship. I will always hold them and meditate on them in a purely unconditional, loving viewpoint. And that allows them the possibility of stepping up to their higher self while they're walking on earth and interacting with everyone, including me. If I focus on them as their wounded self, I am giving that part of them more energy.